Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Fran, and today we will be talking about the critical importance of a healthy self concept in order to be able to manifest our desires, and even more so in order to keep them once manifested. Now, I usually explain the so called law of attraction in terms of quantum physics, as I like to feel grounded in factual evidence. But if you find science boring or difficult to understand, then look for evidence in your own life. Search for patterns in your relationships or in your financial situation. You will most certainly find a common thread or a common history. Yet the situations are different and the people you interact with are different. You are the common denominator. But who is you? You is the individual you identify with. You is the story you tell yourself day in, day out about who you are and why. You is the inner dialogue. You is basically a mask or a character that you've built in order to navigate through life in the safest way possible. But here's the thing. First of all, too much safety takes the excitement away from the game and it makes it dull. Secondly, the need for safety always arises from fear, and focusing on fear only serves to attract that which we are afraid of. So if you keep attracting the same painful circumstances in your life, it's because you've been running away from imaginary shadows and rather than focusing on the light. In order to protect yourself, you have created a self-concept that is limiting your ability to experience life to its fullest potential. Then you have crystallized this idea into a narrative until the mask has become stuck to your face so that you can no longer tell the difference between one and the other. You can no longer tell which is which. But you can change your story. You can change the story that you tell yourself the same way you created this one, through repetition and affirmation. In other words, through your inner dialogue. There is no need for you to find out why your inner dialogue is as it is, or why you have limiting beliefs about yourself. All you need to do is decide to change it. In the words of Neville Goddard, the only price you pay for success is the giving up of your conversation, which belongs to the old man, the unsuccessful man or woman. There are many reasons why you might have adopted a certain self-concept. I'll give you a personal example. Growing up, I was the golden girl. I just couldn't do any wrong. I was always taken as an example to chastise my older brother. Look how well she did in school. Look, she didn't ask for anything. Look, she's not acting up, and so on and so forth. Now, you might think that these would have given me a high self-concept growing up. Instead, I started resenting compliments. First of all, I didn't think that they were genuine, but simply a means to an end. I had seen the sorrow in my brother's eyes, how that comparison had broken him. So growing up, I learned two things. One, love is conditional to being good or achieving or performing. In other words, I'm not worthy of love as I am, but I have to earn it. And secondly, I learned to put people on a pedestal so that I wouldn't overshadow them. I'd use self-deprecating humor or incompetence even as a way to take myself down a notch or two. Now, weirdly, I would sometimes give out the opposite impression, to be overconfident and cocky, maybe to hide that deeper insecurity. The thing is, I developed an unhealthy self-concept at the deeper level. So no matter what you show superficially, people always sense a vibration. When you put people on pedestals, at the beginning, everything is great. They feel great and you feel good for making them feel great. But as the time goes by, you realize that now you have created this divide between the two of you. They're way up there and you're down here and they can't even see you anymore. So you start to move apart. They will start looking for someone at their own vibrational level. The relationship eventually breaks down. And what happens is that then you kick them off the pedestal and hurt them too in the process. The higher the pedestal, the scariest the fall. So there are no winners. Unless you change your narrative and your inner dialogue, the story will endlessly repeat itself and you will attract someone else with a negative self-concept as you vibrate at the same level. and who desperately needs to be put on a pedestal to feel that he or she is good enough. Now, there are many reasons why you might have developed a negative self concept. Your story may be completely different from mine. It might have been that you were berated or beaten up by an alcoholic parent. It may be that you were ignored because your parents were busy working, or emotionally unavailable because of illness, sorrow, or grief. It may be that you lost one or both parents when you were really young, and then you started believing that you weren't worth loving. Or it may be that you were a middle child and you didn't feel special or seen. But no matter what why you developed this self-concept, know that it's just a story that you told yourself to protect you at a time when you didn't know any better. Now you do. Now you can change your story, your narrative, and your inner dialogue. Now you know that you're whole and complete and perfect just as you are. This might feel strange and embarrassing to admit at first, but as you tell the story over and over again, it will become your true identity. You know that you bring a lot to the table, whether in business or personal relationships. You know that putting people on a pedestal won't benefit anyone in the long run. It will crystallize your low self-esteem, and it will give the other person a false sense of security, an inflated ego, and even, perhaps, an emotional addiction. If you want to attract genuine people into your life, you need to take off that self-deprecating mask and stand there naked and vulnerable. Then you'll know that those you attract really do love you for who you are. So no matter what your reason is for your low self-esteem or poor self-concept, give it up. I don't care why you developed it, how good your reasons are. I don't care how you think it has protected you from in childhood. And I don't care how hard your circumstances were. Give it the hell up. Your inner dialogue, your narrative, is all that stands between you and your happiness and success. It's high time to tell a new tale. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to earn people's affection. You don't need to build them up or suck up to them. You're enough. You bring a hell of a lot to the table, just as you are, and there is no one else in the world like you. You're unique. People will treat you how you treat yourself. They will mirror your self-talk. The choice is yours. You can live your life like that movie Groundhog Day, or you can learn the lesson and move on. But whatever you choose, don't fool yourself with the story that you're humble, that you're generous, that you're selfless by putting yourself down. You're only doing it to get a reward. And in the process, you get addicted to the feeling it gives you, like a salivating Pavlov dog. And the other person knows that the pedestal is not genuine love or friendship or even admiration. The pedestal is a currency, and it creates emotional addiction on both sides. But the person playing the victim is no less responsible than the person playing the executioner. It's role play. You're both living your present from the past, reenacting some past relationship that you're both trying to resolve. But here's the thing, you don't need to resolve anything. Just give up your story, your narrative, give up your dysfunctional self-talk. Give up the role of the victim or of the perfect child. Stop trying to please your parents or your siblings and start pleasing yourself. Recognize your worth. You are limitless and powerful, and you can achieve anything you desire if you stop living in the past and start living in the present as your future self. So this is it. You are the prize. You are the star of your own movie and the director. Stop pretending to be an extra. If you do, that is the role that you will keep creating for yourself. So this is it for today. If you've come this far and you've found this content interesting or helpful, please share, like, subscribe, or hit the bell option so that more people can access this content and so that you can be notified of my future videos. In any case, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful awakened day.